Hi guys, this is Kitz.
This is Kel.
Welcome to our channel,
Kitz and
Kel.
Kel.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel, and as you may have read the title of this video, this is about my experiences in having gestational diabetes. Gestational diabetes is not something new to me because I had it with my first pregnancy, and now that I have it again in the second pregnancy, I think it's good for me to share how it's like living a pregnancy life with gestational diabetes. And it is something that you don't want to have, so it's better for you to avoid it if you are pregnant, or if you are trying to be pregnant. I think it is good for you to know the experiences of other women or other pregnant women who's suffering from it right now. Okay, so gestational diabetes is something that is being checked by your doctors or your nurse during or between 24 weeks or 26 weeks of pregnancy. It is actually part of your prenatal care. And here in Singapore, the process is such that they will set a date for you to have the oral glucose tolerance test. So what's going to happen is that prior or the day before your actual test, they will ask you to fast for about 8 hours to 12 hours. That is without food or drink, water, as in nada. And then you will go to the clinic, they will get your blood drawn, your fasting blood, and then they will ask you to drink this glucose drink, which is very, very, very sweet, and you have to finish it within 10 minutes or 15 minutes. And then after that, you have to wait for 1 hour. After 1 hour, they will get your blood drawn again, and then wait again after 2 hours, and then they will draw your blood again. So if you want to learn more about the process on that, you can actually just research on it. There's a lot of articles pertaining to gestational diabetes. So what's gonna happen when you are diagnosed with gestational diabetes? Your doctor will refer you to a dietitian or to a nutritionist. So that dietitian will teach you on how to control your diet, tell you specifically what not to eat. As for me, of course, less carbs, no sweets if possible, and to make sure not to eat all those white stuff like sugar, rice, bread, anything made with flour. So imagine how difficult it is. So you really don't want to have gestational diabetes. So as much as possible, even before the test itself, you are already doing a diet control prior to being pregnant or in your first trimester. So you don't need to go through the sufferings that women with gestational diabetes are going through. Okay, so once you have your diet planned or well planned with your dietitian, you will be asked to check your blood sugar profile or blood sugar level every meal. Because every meal will need you to check 3 times. Pre-meal, 1 hour post-meal, and 2 hour post-meal. So what I would do is I would track it by using this blood sugar tracker that I just downloaded online. So I will show you later how I check it, and there are 2 ways two ways I check my blood sugar. But I just want to let you know that for pre-meal, you should be getting less than 5.3 mmol per liter. And first hour post meal, you have to take less than 7.8 mmol per liter. And for second hour, your blood sugar level should be less than 6.4 mmol per liter. So this is what I have right now. This is how I'm tracking it. So I am only taking my blood sugar 4 times a week, as you can see. There you go. And I would encircle the numbers that are quite high, and I would write down why I think it's high, or the food that might have caused my blood sugar to spike. So this is 7.5. This is pretty high for 2 hour post meal, because you are supposed to only get less than 6.4 but I got 7.5 because at this day I ate, imagine, just a quarter cup of rice, and then it spiked like crazy. And even my pre-dinner, okay, between my lunch and dinner, I didn't eat anything. It went down to 6.6, and that is still pretty high for pre-meal. I'm supposed to get less than 5.3, right? But then after that, after I ate here, actually I did not eat because I was so scared that it will spike again. Then it went down to 4.1, which is the normal range. So the normal range would be, if you have the glucose monitoring system, you can set the range for that, is between 4 to 8, right? And my bedtime, so after the second hour, I ate a bit, and then I got 5.7 for my bedtime, which is pretty high. So I think I had banana bread here. That's why it spiked again. Not so bad, 5.3, just 0.4 difference. But still, I'm not happy whenever I see this. So a good thing to do as well is to write down the food that you eat. And every time it goes up, then you can determine or figure out which kind of food spikes up your sugar, and you just should stop eating it, or you should stop taking or avoid taking it. So that's how I track my sugar. So I'm gonna show you now how I check my blood sugar level by using this device. This is a glucose monitoring test. If you are diabetic, or if you know anyone who is diabetic, they would normally have this. And the test strips, I'm gonna show you a test strip. This one is a test strip. I'm using the brand called Freestyle Libre. And this is the test strip of Freestyle Libre. Right. And then I'm also using the Freestyle Libre sensor. Okay. So the first thing that you need to do to check, see, today I ate a bit of rice actually. I had salted egg yolk chicken and just a little bit of rice. But the salted egg chicken is on a sweet side. So I ate about an hour or an hour and a half ago. So I think my sugar is a bit high. But let's see. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is you have to make sure that your hands are clean. You have to swab it. So I'm gonna swab my finger first. Please bear with me. All my stuff are here. So I'm gonna swab it first. So I'm gonna choose which finger I want. You know, all these fingers have pokes in it. So initially it was very hard for me to do it by myself. So I would ask my husband to do it for me because it's pretty painful, you know, when you do it almost every day. So you have to take this out, the strip, and then you will need to use a pen, but mine is a pen with a needle. So, but for me, I am using a self-activated, this is what you call lancet, self-activated lancet. So the moment it gets in contact with my skin, it will poke it, but then I cannot use this again. This is a disposable one. I prefer to use this because when first I don't have the pen, and I think this is the easiest one, although I think it's more pricey or more expensive than having the pen in the pin itself. So I'm gonna show you how. So this one is the lancet. This is the first thing that you're gonna open up. First, again, you have to swab your finger. I swabbed this one, and you have to twist the cup, and then you just have to press it like this. So I'm gonna show you. Okay, nearer. So I'm just gonna poke myself like this. There. I mean, I haven't pressed it yet. So then you have to use this test strip, and then you're gonna put it inside the glucose monitoring device. Okay, then it will ask you to apply blood. There you go. I hope you can see it. My light is there. So I'm just gonna press this there, so the blood would come. You don't need a lot of blood, just very little. It will do. So it says here, apply blood. Then I'm gonna put the blood in here at the edge or end. Then it will let me know my blood sugar level. So that is 6.3 after an hour of eating. So I almost failed. Because 6.4, when it goes 6.5, that means my sugar spiked up quite badly. Or so I'll put here lunch. The time, I took it at 3:36 p.m. So I would write it here, and I would write my reading here. And I would write down somewhere here what might have caused for my blood sugar to spike, so I know. Why do I track it? Because every single time that I need to meet up with my doctor, he will check this to make sure that I am managing my diet well. Otherwise, if he sees that it's all high, he will definitely ask me to inject insulin or to take insulin. So you don't want that to happen. So making sure that you're doing or you're getting the right diet is a must. So you don't need to, you know, like further complicate things by injecting insulin to yourself. So that's how I check it. That's how you check it, using a test strip. Okay, so another way, easier way to check your blood sugar level or blood sugar profile is using the other product of Freestyle Libre, which is the this is what you call a Freestyle Libre flash glucose monitoring system sensor. So this is something that you attach on your arm. See, you can still see the mark over here. And this one is pretty easy because you don't need to prick your finger every single time. All you need to do is to attach this particular sensor on your arm, and then you just have to turn on your monitoring device, and it says here start a new sensor. So you just have to keep scanning. So this one you can check every day because it's just very easy. You just have to scan and then it will read it for you. You don't need to prick. So that is how I check my blood sugar level and the process that I needed to go through when I found out that I have gestational diabetes. And I take gestational diabetes pretty seriously because of the harm that it can cause to your baby. My doctor told me that if you have a high blood sugar level in your body, it can cross to the placenta, and then your baby's pancreas will produce a lot of insulin, and that insulin will process the sugar that your baby has, and then your baby will or might come out anemic or very low in blood sugar. So that will cause your baby to be in NICU or need to be watched over to make sure that his blood level is okay. And you don't want that to happen. You don't want to go through that. And if you read the different articles or articles online regarding gestational diabetes, there are a lot of things that it can do to harm your baby. The baby can come out obese. The baby can even grow up having diabetes. At the same time, for you can develop preeclampsia. It can cause depression, C-section. Stillbirth is the most scary or the scariest thing of all because of the food that you intake and you're not controlling your diet, and then you can cause all these things to your child. So as much as possible, if you are planning to be pregnant or if you are in your first trimester, and better eat the right food, stop all those sweets, those cakes, and think about the baby. And think about yourself as well. It's a blessing in disguise as well for me having it, because I get to tell myself that sugar is not good for me, that it's not good for the baby, and I have to live a healthy lifestyle, not just for myself but for my kids and for my husband, and to make sure that I won't have any complications. Because I myself, even after delivering the baby, I can develop gestational diabetes type 2 if I mean not gestational diabetes but diabetes type 2 if I don't take care of myself. So it's good that we take note of these things as early as now, for you to free yourself from all the stuff that you need to go through. So that's all for this episode. I know that it's not as detailed as you may have expected to be, like why do you get gestational diabetes or what are the risk factors or the symptoms, but I still hope that you learned something from this and you learned from my experiences on how I deal with it in my everyday life and how I manage my blood sugar level every single day. So yeah, that's all for this episode, and yeah, I think I'll see you soon with the next one, I hope.